Good afternoon and welcome to the Chairman Speaks. I am Subhash Jangala, Joint Director in the Directorate of Public Relations, Publications and Publicity. We are streaming for the first time from the department's very own communications center, Samvaad, here at Mayur Bhawan in New Delhi. With the continuous support of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, the Directorate General of Administration and Taxpayer Services has made Samvaad possible. Samvaad in Sanskrit means positive discourse. And we believe that this new communication facility will help create a positive dialogue amongst all stakeholders of the Income Tax Department, including the board, the Aikar Parivar, our valued taxpayers, professionals, industry organizations, ministries and departments of the Government of India, and everyone else impacted by and interested in taxes. On this auspicious occasion of the inauguration of Samvaad, we thought it would only be fitting to have a discussion with none other than the Chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, Shri Jagannath Bidyadhar Mohapatra, the head of the Aikar Parivar. We thank you for gracing the occasion, sir. Shri Jagannath Bidyadhar Mohapatra is an officer of the 1985 batch of the Indian Revenue Service. Hailing from Odisha, he had served as an assistant commissioner in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Subsequently, he moved to Mumbai and held several critical posts in central ranges, headquarters and special ranges. After his promotion, he served in the Directorate of Vigilance in Mumbai. He has served in the Rajya Sabha Secretariat, the Department of Electronics and Information Technology, and the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy as a Joint Secretary. Before being appointed as the Chairman CBDT, he was the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax at Hyderabad. He brings along with himself tremendous experience across different ministries of the Government of India over the last 35 years of service. Sir, I now request you to open the discussion and address our viewers from across the globe.
Thank you, Subhas. Namaskar to our respected taxpayers, Aikar Parivar, professionals, business organizations, industry representatives, media personnel and people from all walks of life who have tuned in to this inaugural session today from Samvaad. These are difficult times. The country and its citizens have bravely fought the pandemic since 2020. Many of us lost our family members, our colleagues and loved ones. The department has lost more than 140 members of its family in the line of duty. The damage and destruction caused by the pandemic is irreparable. As we enshrine the memories of our lost friends in our hearts, the department vows to rededicate itself to its vision, its mission and its principles. At the heart of the department's functioning is the goal to ease tax compliance, which is even more significant in these difficult times. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Director General of Administration and Taxpayer Services for creating the department's first communication studio, Samvaad. Communication is the lifeblood of any organization. More so when you are administering and collecting taxes for a large, young and diverse nation as ours. Technology has become such an integral component of discharging both our personal and professional duties. In this background, I am sure Samvaad will multiply and magnify the immense potential that we have as an organization. I wish the Director General all the very best. These measures will drive us forward to become a truly taxpayer-centric organization.
Thank you, sir. Taking off from your observation on how the last 2 years have really changed the way we have been operating, can you please throw some light on where the department stands today in an exceptionally critical period where we have massive public schemes of public health, hygiene, sanitary education, etc. How do you see the department's performance in the last 2 years in this outset?
At the outset, I would say that there has been no organization that has been immune to this pandemic. We all have been affected alike, as I have already stated in the opening remarks. However, The income tax department, in addition to the adverse impact, has always has the unenviable job of collecting taxes even in these difficult times. At the center of all our efforts is the understanding that taxes are the foundation for the reconstruction and rebuilding of any civilization that has been hit by a disaster. Driven by this shared belief, the department has been able to achieve significant growth in our tax collections as compared to the last year. In figures, our first quarter advance tax collections for this year have grown by over 146%. The gross direct tax collections as on 15th of June 2021 have seen a 57% jump over the gross direct tax collections for the same period last year. The net direct tax collections as on 15th of June have seen a jump of 100.4% over the net direct tax collections over the same period last year. But this is, I will say that this is an outcome of several reforms taken in the department over the course of the last several years. The reforms are aimed at easing the tax compliance. Several new provisions have been introduced in the last 5 years to tax unaccounted income. In addition, we have come out with several reform measures to ease the tax compliance. For example, Vivad Se Vishwas, income disclosure scheme, faceless assessment and faceless appeals. These are the examples. And this reform is a continuous process. These are long-term structural reforms which are long needed. These reforms strengthen the overall tax administration, making us more resilient than ever before. While we have robust growth figures in tax collections at this moment, we are pursuing the course of cautious optimism. As we celebrate the growth in revenue, we are also aware not to lose sight of the hundreds of variables presently at play in the economy and that we are still in the middle of a global pandemic. Department is geared up to take on the challenge of domestic resource mobilization in these uncertain times.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, we know that 15th August 2021 to 15th August 2022 marks 75 years of independence, which is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and is being celebrated all across the country and by the ministries and departments. As one of the oldest arms of the government, how do you see the department's contribution to the growth and development of the nation?
For any society in general, taxes are the bedrock of growth. India's case is not any different. Since 1860, when taxes on income were introduced for the first time in India, we have come a very long way. This year marks the 161st year of income tax in the country. Very few organizations have such legacy. As a country develops from a purely agrarian economy to an industrialized or into a service-based economy, share of direct taxes to the overall revenue inflow of the country is bound to rise. And India's growth story can be explained in these numbers. In 2000-2001, direct taxes accounted for 36.3% of the total taxes collected in the country. The country had just come to terms with globalization and the entire country was buzzing with economic activity. The share of direct tax collection steadily increased and reached a peak of 60% in 2009-2010. Subsequently, however, several structural reforms in the indirect taxes, including introduction of GST, took place in the interim. And for financial year 1920, direct taxes contributed to 52% of the total tax revenue of the country. This growth in the share of direct taxes is reflected in the overall growth of the economy as well. During the period of 20 years, GDP at current market prices jumped almost 10, that is a 900% increase. Clearly, direct tax collections are an indicator of a country's prosperity. The most important indicator to note is that the direct tax growth rate exceeded the GDP growth in 12 years out of the last 18 years between 2000-2001 and 2018-2019. This reflects the contribution of the department to growth of the nation. Department takes great pride in its contribution to society. In order to celebrate the same, Directorate General of Administration and TPS has already charted a calendar of events for the entire organization, including the field formations. I encourage and urge all the principal chief CITs to take up the activities enthusiastically. Special emphasis may be given to involve the Aikar Parivar, our taxpayers, professionals, and regional luminaries to discuss and disseminate the contribution of taxes to the growth and development of the country.
Thank you, sir. The department has truly contributed a lot to the growth and development of our nation. Sir, as we talk about 75 years of independence, something that we cannot ignore is the amount of technology that we have incorporated in the department. Can you please chart us out the present and the future of technology in the functioning of the department?
Yes, technology has always been a key enabler in the department's journey, especially in the last 2 decades. Department has always strived to be at the forefront of technological innovation. This started from the introduction of PAN as a unique identifier for taxpayers and continues to this day as we adopt advanced transaction monitoring and processing technology. It would not be out of place to state that amongst the large developing countries, Indian tax administration has truly led as the beacon in respect of successful adoption of technology. There has been a constant endeavor to emphasize that technology is an enabler. It does not reduce the importance of the department's human face and the human resources. It only enriches and magnifies the productivity of an individual. To this end, while we have continuously incorporated technology, we have also ensured that the employees of the department are continuously trained and skilled in order to make the best use of the technology. For assessment year 18-19, more than 5.8 crore returns were processed by this department. That is close to 110 returns of income every single minute with accuracy and precision. And one of the simpler forms, ITR1, contains close to 100 unique data points. So we do have come a long way in incorporating technology for a developing country of our size. In addition, using technology, we track and integrate millions of financial transactions being conducted across the country into our database to assist both in pre-filling information and in scrutiny and investigation. We are one of the very few tax administrations in the world to have introduced faceless assessment and faceless appeals in order to improve ease of compliance. Faceless assessment gives us an opportunity to free income tax proceedings of bias, errors of judgment and inefficiency. You could be sitting in Kerala while one of the best brains in Siliguri is looking at your return of income right now with no idea as to whom it belongs to. Several layers of abstraction help the department focus on the essentials of a case. We have brought in transparency, efficiency and effectiveness through faceless assessment. The same applies to faceless appeals as well. We continuously upgrade our internal and external facing systems to stay updated with the latest technology. This reduces the amount of time taken by the taxpayers to comply with their liabilities. We have substantially reduced the amount of time taken to process and issue refunds. All this has been made possible with technology alone, and this is the way ahead. We are proud of our Directorate of Systems that has strived to keep the taxpayer in our focus. Every time there is a change, there are bound to be teething problems. We always work hard to minimize them. The speed at which technology is evolving as we speak, there is a new technology somewhere out there coming to the market, and this directly and indirectly raises the expectations of our taxpayers from the department. It's a continuous challenge, and we are putting our best minds to tackle these challenges and forge our way ahead in this technological era.
Thank you, sir. I would now request you to address the members of the Aikar Parivar who have joined the Chairman Speaks from all across the country.
My dear Aikar Parivar, we from the apex and the mid-level to the lowest rung of the ministerial staff make the large team. Be it the struggles at life or at work, the team is the only avenue to stay afloat and succeed. The department's birth, development and growth has been possible only through the team's contribution. I, for one, intend unhesitatingly to draw support from the large Aikar Parivar and see the department go further and better.
On that note, right off the Captain's Diary, on behalf of the Directorate General of Administration and Taxpayer Services, I would express my sincere gratitude to the Chairman for inaugurating Samvaad and agreeing to participate in the first session of the Chairman Speaks. We believe that this marks the beginning of many more engaging, thought-provoking and informational discussions that Samvaad will host. We thank all of you for joining us today on the Chairman Speaks, and do stay connected on the department's social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and Twitter for information on the upcoming live sessions. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you.